Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michael Brand. Welcome to the Art Gallery of New South Wales, where I've had the privilege of being director since 2012. And today I have the privilege of not being a judge, which is a very fine thing. I'm pleased you could join us today, either over our live stream or in person here today, as we celebrate 100 years of the Archibald Prize and 150 years of the Art Gallery of New South Wales, this great public art museum in Sydney with this wonderfully rich and complex history. And this year we're also working towards our expansion and transformation, known as the Sydney Modern Project, which is due for completion by the end of next year. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the country in which we're meeting, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I want to pay my respects to their elders, both past and present, and to their emerging generation of leaders, both in Sydney, New South Wales, and right around the country. As we announce the winners of the 2021 Archibald, Wynne and Sulman Prizes, I do want to first of all congratulate all of our artists here in the house and every finalist wherever you might be. Welcome. I'm really sorry that COVID restrictions, including the Victorian lockdown, have prevented quite a number of our artists and sitters and other colleagues from attending the gallery this week. But we're thinking of you, and we hope you can be back pretty soon and come and see the wonderful exhibitions. So this year, 2,144 entries were received for the Archibald, Wynne and Sulman Prizes. That makes it the second highest number of entries following the record year last year. Across all three prizes, the work of no less than 112 Australian artists is on show, with 58 women and 54 male artists. For the first time ever, there are more works by women than by men. This year, we also received the highest ever total number of entries by Aboriginal artists right across all three exhibitions. Yeah. And as you know, led by our president, David Gonski, the winners of the 2021 Archibald, Wynne and Sulman Prizes have been selected. The Archibald Prize and I should know this too. The Archibald Prize and the Wynne Prize have been selected by our Board of Trustees, including trustee artists Tony Albert and Ben Quilty. I'm really proud as director here that the Archibald, Wynne and Sulman Prizes are now celebrated as being genuinely open to all. And I do want to commend our Board of Trustees in their role as judges for the way they continue to find winners that both meet the goals of the prizes and also the ethos of 21st century Australia. The 2021 Sulman Prize has been judged by guest artist Elizabeth Cummings, and the Young Archie's guest judge this year is the artist Ramesh Mario Nityendran. The Young Archies this year attracted over 2,100 entries, and the Young Archie winners will be announced on July 31st. ANZ has been our presenting partner of the Archibald Prize for a full 12 years now. So thank you, ANZ. Your support of the Art Gallery and this celebrated event is greatly valued, as is your commitment to the annual tour of the Archibald Prize through our regional art museums around the country. So from ANZ, please now make welcome Christina Tonkin, Managing Director, Corporate Finance. Welcome, Christina.
Thank you, Michael, and good afternoon, everyone. It's definitely so exciting to be part of today's celebration here in Sydney. Before I start, I would also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and I pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and of course to their emerging leaders, both here in Sydney and across the nation. As Michael said, ANZ has been the presenting partner for the Archibald, Wynne and Sulman Prizes for the past 12 years. As we all know, the Archibald Prize is part of the cultural fabric of this country, and it's an honour for ANZ to continue to support it particularly in the Archibald centenary year and also the year in which the Art Gallery turned 150. Through our association with the Art Gallery of New South Wales and the prize, we're very proud to bring some of the very best Australian artists to the city and bring them to life, and bring to life some of our most unique and colourful personalities. We're also very excited to be supporting the young Archies and to take them on tour across the country. Seeing the works of so many budding young artists brings so much joy to so many, including myself. I'd like to thank Michael Brand and indeed everybody at the Art Gallery and congratulate them on putting together this year's exhibition. I'd also like to thank the Board of Trustees for the Art Gallery for, again, putting together this exhibition. And of course, to the finalists, both here today and around the country, many congratulations. And like everyone else here, I'm absolutely super excited to see who's going to win. So I will pass back to Michael. Thank you.
Thank you again, Christina. And also just to all my colleagues here at the gallery to acknowledge the work they've done, probably over the last two Archies, the COVID lockdown one and the 100th one in this new space, requiring some really sort of big changes in the logistics. They probably feel like they've aged about 100 years over the past 2 years, but what a fantastic job they've all done, and I really want to pay my respects to them for their dedication to getting work by Australian artists up on the walls and in front of a broad audience here at the Art Gallery of New South Wales. Excuse me. Look, it's now my pleasure to introduce the President of the Art Gallery of New South Wales Board of Trustees, David Gonski, who will now announce the winners. So welcome, David. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I start also by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which this gallery stands. Can I say this is the 100th Archie, and I'm very imbued by the history that we're making here today, and I want to inform all of you that no one else other than those in this room will ever attend this room for the announcement of the 100th Archie. And that made us this morning, as the trustees met, feel pretty humbled, as I might say all the works of art that we saw on this wall contributed to as well. I commend our staff at the gallery who've worked tirelessly. I thank my fellow trustees, and I note, and this is the commercial if I may allow that the Archie 100, a century of the Archibald Prize, an exhibition which will open together with the exhibition that's here on the 5th of June, right through to the 26th of September, should be a must for everyone. But you didn't come to hear me, you came to hear who's won these prizes. So let me get straight to that. Let me start by announcing the Sulman Prize. For those of you who don't know, the Sulman Prize is for the best subject, genre painting or mural. The Sir John Sulman Prize was judged this year, as Michael said, by Elizabeth Cummings, a really wonderful artist, Australian artist. We had a record entry level of 546 works, and 21 of those works are exhibited in the exhibition. The winner, however, you can only have one winner, of the 2021 Sulman Prize, which is in an amount of $40,000, is Georgia Spain for her work Getting Down or Falling Up. And I think Georgia's here. Congratulations, Georgia.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm very overwhelmed and humbled and honoured to be this year's recipient of the Sulman Prize. I'm kind of lost for words, to be honest. But firstly, I'd like to thank the Art Gallery of New South Wales for the opportunity and everyone involved in making this event happen. It's really exciting to be here. Also, obviously, like to thank Elizabeth Cummings for picking my work. She's one of my favourite painters. and I really hope I get to meet her at some point. I'd also like to say congratulations to all the other finalists. It's really exciting to be hanging on these walls with so many artists I admire. So congratulations to everyone. And what else did I have written down? Thought I wouldn't need it, but... Oh yeah, I wanted to thank as well my gallery, the Egg and Art, for supporting me and believing in my work. And of course, as well, I want to thank my family and my beautiful partner for being rocks in my life and being here today as well with me. Thank you so much again for the opportunity. I'm just so thrilled and excited to be here.
Thank you, Georgia, and congratulations again. We move now, if we may, to the Wynne Prize. This prize was first awarded in 1897 in honour of the official opening of the Art Gallery of New South Wales at its present site where we're standing today. This prize is judged by the trustees of this gallery, and it is for the best landscape painting of Australian scenery in oils or watercolours, or for the best example of figure sculpture by Australian artists. This year there were 660 entries, and 39 of those finalists are actually exhibited on the walls of this gallery. First time for us, there were more works by women hung in the finals, 23 out of 39, with men 16. Entries in the Wynne Prize are also eligible for some other prizes. The Trustees Watercolour Prize is one, and the John and Elizabeth Newnham Pring Memorial Prize is another. And if that's not enough, there's the Roberts Family Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Prize, which may be awarded to an Aboriginal and/or Torres Strait Islander artist. If I may, I'd like to just go through those prizes first. We won't be asking them to come up here, but I think we should clap as each goes through. The first is the winner of the 2021 Roberts Family Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander Prize, which is in an amount of $10,000, and that goes to Jankara Ken for her work Seven Sisters, which is over there. The winner of the 2021 Trustees Watercolour Prize in an amount of $5,000 this year went to Noel McKenna for his work South Coast Headland 2, Ottoman Rose. And the John and Elizabeth Newnham Pring Memorial Prize, which is in the amount of $1,000, has this year been awarded to Leah Bullen for Arid Garden Wollongong. Ladies and gentlemen, this brings me to the Wynne Prize itself. The Wynne is in an amount of $50,000, and I'm very pleased to tell you that this year Napanyapu Yunupingu has won for her painting Garrett Night Sky, which just happens to be there. And I believe she can join us by video.
Yunupingu. This wonderful lady, she's one of my mothers, but they're all her sisters behind me, and they're all painters. Nyapa said earlier that her landscape painting is of trekking the land in which all her sisters and us, all family, go hunting, get food, and the actual land itself, which is her homelands and others' clans' homelands where we've hunted all these years. She said earlier that, you know, every stroke is something very special, and that from one stroke makes so many, and then it grows bigger. So we would like to thank all of you, and her sisters especially. They're all very, very proud, and we're all very, very proud of Yapa Yapa. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me now move to the Archibald Prize. This is for the best portrait. It's judged by the Art Gallery of New South Wales trustees, and as Michael said earlier, two of our trustees are very well-known artists. This year we had our second highest ever number of entries, beaten only, I might say, by last year, which might have something to do with being locked down or whatever. There are 938 entries this year, and out of that we chose 52 finalists, which are set out on these walls. I should also say that there has been gender parity in the finalists in our artists, which is the first time in 100 years. This was a complex thing for our trustees. The quality was high, and I might say the opinions of the trustees strong. So this year we wanted to highly commend two artists before we award the one prize that's available to us. Sydney artist Jude Ray is highly commended for her self-portrait Inside Out. I think she deserves a clap for that. Brisbane artist Pat Hoffey for her portrait of her daughter titled Visaya in a Sea Collar is also highly commended. So, ladies and gentlemen, in the history-making thing that I mentioned earlier, as this competition turns 100, it is an enormous pleasure for me to announce the 2021 Archibald Prize, which is in an amount of $100,000, and if I may, I note it was a unanimous decision of the judges. But this year's prize is won by Melbourne artist Peter Wegner for his painting of portrait of artist Guy Warren at 100. Ladies and gentlemen, because of Peter living in Melbourne, I believe we're going to cross to him by video link.
Oh, thank you very much. It's quite a surprise for me today to be able to be here and have this happen to me. When I got a call this morning from Michael, I was actually the surprise was that my wife actually cried. And it took a moment before I realised what had sunken in. So it's for me, an amazing thing for me to happen. So I'd like to thank the trustees, and also, of course, thank the ANZ for their sponsorship for the prize. But today, I think I'd like to really thank Guy Warren for sitting and for his generosity of spirit. And he really, I mean, it's so much easier if you've got a great face, and I think it's always easier if you have a great model. And I think with the case of Guy, it's been extremely lucky I have both. So it's a big thank you to Guy. But also, now, Guy is probably one of the most remarkable 100-year-olds I have ever met. Now, I say this because I have drawn, painted and sat with over 90 centenarians in a series I've been doing over 7 years. And this was the reason I approached Guy to sit for me. And it wasn't actually the idea of the Archibald I had in mind, but as it works out, that it's very well timed on both levels. I still think it's extraordinary to live on this planet for 100 years and still have a sense of purpose, curiosity, and and maybe this is the reason that Guy's for his longevity. But so, Guy Warren, I have to thank you very much, and I'm hoping you're there today that you can enjoy this with me. And finally, the secret to longevity often is a lot of my centenarians have said that what they do at the end of the night is have a drink, and actually, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do tonight. So, thank you again, and thank you, Doc.
Well, as I said, sadly, Peter can only come through the video, but I'm pleased to inform you that Guy Warren, at 100, is coming to join us, and we can see the man in the flesh.
Great, thanks. Look, don't clap me, for God's sake. I haven't done anything. All I did was to sit. Peter's done a great job. It's been an extraordinary year. There were 4 or 5 people who painted me for this Archibald, and I find that extraordinary in itself. That Peter should have won gives me enormous amount of pleasure. I think it's... I'd never met the guy. He contacted me by email, and I'd never seen the painting until I saw it here yesterday, and it really is a extraordinarily good painting. Now, people say it captures... I mean, the difficulty with a portrait, you know all this as well as I do, is that, you know, it's got to be more than just a good likeness. Everybody says it is. I don't know. If it catches my character, then that's marvellous. I don't know what my character is. But if everybody thinks that and it works, then great. It's a good painting. It looks like me. I think I'm getting almost as much pleasure out of this as if I'd won the damn thing myself. It's a lot of fun. There are a couple of other good friends of mine who have paintings in, whom I would like to have won also, but I guess they can't all win. So good luck to Peter and congratulations, and he's a damn good painter. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, suffice to say we wish all the best to the 2 centenarians. One is obviously Guy, and we wish him well for many years to come, and also to the Archibald Prize as well. That ends the formalities. The show will be open from tomorrow, and I'd like to thank all of you for being here today, and particularly thank all those who've entered the prizes and all those who've put so much work in to make it happen. Thank you all.